Hello, my name is Ben.
My name is Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates.
So, welcome to our Game Week 6 review. It's a stinker, that's all that can be said.
Oh, when I said it couldn't get worse the other week, it did. I only went and happened. Well, obviously we had the United and Chelsea game, lots of blanks all over the place, defensively good. Aubameyang did nothing again, as we know. Salah had a goal disallowed, Trent did nothing, City did nothing. It was an absolute storm.
Yeah, unless you had specific players like Patrick Bamford, Wilf Zaha, Son and Kane, you had an absolute nightmare this week. So we're going to get into our teams. Ben, you can go first. Who was your highest performer this week?
So, basically, let's talk it this way. Son and Kane together got me 16 points. I had both of them in. Kane got me 5, Son got me 11. Looking back in hindsight, I should have captained Son. I know I should have captained Son, but I didn't. The rest of my team put together got a total of 17 points. So, to say that they carried me is an understatement. Let's go through my team. In goal, Matt Ryan, 81st minute, lost his clean sheet. Mitchell, 90th minute, lost his clean sheet. Connor Cody, 89th minute, lost his clean sheet. Trent had an assist disallowed, nearly scored as well. Son obviously did well. Mahrez did absolutely nothing for me. Salah captain, goal disallowed. FPL even tweeted it out that he scored and disappeared all of a sudden. Jorginho, 3 points. Chelsea should have had a penalty. So
Unlucky, yeah.
James Rodriguez, I wasn't expecting him to get points for me necessarily this week. And then up front, Calvert-Lewin blanked and Kane got an assist. And this is where it gets painful. Painful for me is when we start talking about who I've got on the bench. We'll start off, McCarthy, 6 points. Kyle Walker-Peters, 5 points. And James Justin, 6 points. I had a stinker really in terms of picking that defence. I was quite happy with my bench being as it is, Justin against Arsenal. But they didn't turn up, and all of a sudden I've got like 17 points on the bench.
It's not good. I mean, Arsenal look terrible this year. Definitely a team to consider if you've got a defensive option against them, I feel, because they've got the least shots, one of the least shots.
Yeah, they just don't get shots on target, and I thought that this game would be the game that Arteta could turn it around. I'm not really sure what's going on at Arsenal, but something's clearly not working, something's clearly not clicking, whether that be fatigue or whatever, but
I've seen some stats like Mikel Arteta has literally got the same record as Unai Emery since he took over at the minute, so they don't look like they're improving, and if anything they look worse going forward. So it might be one to look at if they're playing Arsenal defensive options. Maybe look to play those players now. Yeah,
so I've got 2 free transfers for the week, and I was looking through, and even that, I don't know who I'd want to transfer. Like Mahrez, I'd look to maybe get rid of because he hasn't performed for me. I'll take him out and I'll look at the options that I have. Other than maybe like Sterling, I don't see anyone that really would get more points for me.
Yeah, Man City's a weird. I personally don't have any Man City assets. They just don't look good right now. And there's too many injuries.
And I look at my defence, I think the one that I'd aim to get in maybe is Kilman because he's so cheap and free up funds. But even freeing up funds, I don't know who I'd.
It's a sideways move, really.
Yeah, I think Danny Ings could be a good option for me going forward instead of Calvert-Lewin. Brought him in on the wildcard week. He got me a goal and then he's just blanked again. But you know what? I don't want
to. To be fair, I think that's the first time he's blanked.
Yeah, it's the first time he's blanked all season, so I won't pull the trigger on him too much. But it is quite confusing. I don't really know what to go for. People were expecting Villa clean sheets as well against Leeds, and they conceded 3. So it really is a strange time in FPL.
Yeah, it's just the Premier League in general. Everyone's just going crazy. Like, no results are the same, if you know what I mean. I brought in Conte this week instead of Basham, and he got me a 1-pointer because obviously Leeds scored so many. But I feel like there's no outstanding player from this week that you think, right, I need to hop on that bandwagon. Like, it's just
there wasn't a lot a lot of goals this
Like
week.
Patrick Bamford is never going to score another Premier League hat-trick this season.
You're right.
Wilfried Zaha just would frustrate me owning him because he'll go 3 weeks without scoring and then score 14 points.
He's looking good for the start of the season, but we all know what Wilfried Zaha is like. He'll have 3 good weeks.
A lot of inconsistent players right now are turning up, and that's what worries me.
That's frustrating. The consistent performance that get points week in, week out. I mean, Salah, what's that? He's had 2 blanks in 2 years at home or something like that, and it has to be one way I've captained
against the Sheffield United team that have looked absolutely Eric Dyer at the back this year.
Yeah, and you'd expect, like, you look at the first 20 minutes of that game, and I'm telling you right now that, like, Liverpool could have scored 3 or 4 in the first 20 minutes. So it's just so frustrating. But we'll have to keep our chin up, go again. For my team next week, it's looking alright. Like, there's a few nice fixtures in there. Calvert-Lewin away at Newcastle. Spurs are at home. Liverpool have a tricky fixture against West Ham at home because the class West Ham is tricky now.
Definitely right now.
There's a few nice fixtures in there. But let's talk about your team, Josh. And what sort of points did you get this week?
Okay, so I had 35 points, so just the 1 point below Ben. Same decision with the goalkeeper. I went Matt Ryan. The fixture was looking good. 2 points, a shame, but we move on. Trent, definitely looking at getting him out right now. He's created, I think, 12 chances this season compared to his 25 that he had last season at this stage. So clearly underperforming right now. So I wouldn't mind getting him back in if he does start performing, but I can't afford 7.5 million just rotting away getting 2 points every week. Jamal Lewis, a 2-pointer. They were unlucky to concede, to be fair, but at the end of the day, my defence right now doesn't look good, and that's definitely something that I'll be changing about in the wild card when I do eventually hit it. As I said earlier, I brought in Conser, 1-pointer. Villa looked unreal defensively so far, but then got torn apart by Leeds, so hopefully they can reinstall that defensive form. The main performer of my team, second best player, is Eric Dyer this week with a 6-pointer. He nearly got in the bonus as well, which was bloody decent, to be fair. The first time Spurs kept a clean sheet this season, it was 50% to go, chance of playing going into it, so I just left him in there. It was a good fixture. So, and then he did the returning. Salah captain, we've already spoke about that. Unlucky. It's one of those ones at the end of the day. Bruno, 3 points. I weren't really expecting much because it was a difficult fixture, but you've got to leave him in there just in case he gets the penalties. Grealish, I've had him, I think, 2 weeks now, and there's 2 blanks. It's kind of getting frustrating. I knew it would happen, to be honest. Like, he's one of those players that does blow hot and cold, and a 1-pointer is not great. Son 11, vice captain. Probably should have captain, but I'm never going to be upset about that captain choice. Salah's obviously a very good pick at home.
But we're just saying, aren't we, that I think captaining him next week is a really good shout.
Yeah, you've got to stick, not
twist. There's no way he's blanking 2 game weeks in a row at home.
Exactly. So yeah, and Calvert-Lewin, 1-pointer. Not going to be mad about that. The guy's been on form this season so far. He can have an off day. The Everton team looked dreadful with all the suspensions and injuries that they had. So maybe want to put the brakes on a little bit for Everton until they get their players back. Mitrovic, 2 points. Again, disappointing. I thought he could maybe get a return in that game. He might be the player that comes out this week, to be honest. He does have West Brom next week, though, which is the thing that I'm looking at.
Fixture.
You know what I mean?
Even then, Fulham just
They do look bad. That's the problem.
They don't look good at all.
He's only returned once in the first 6 weeks, and I've had him since the beginning, of course. I know a lot of people, especially on TikTok, saying like, "Oh, your team has there's obviously loads of bad players," but obviously I haven't hit my wild card. And I think for not hitting my wild card does look alright. There are a few holes to plug, but I think if I can get rid of Mitrovic, Grealish, Lewis, and Charlie Taylor, and then maybe like Burke on the bench or something, I think that's probably the main changes that I'd make. Obviously, I had McCarthy on the bench with a 6-pointer, but other than that, it was all 1-pointers or 2-pointers. So, yeah, disappointing week. I know a lot of our mates, especially, shout out Johnny Vick. He had a stormer this week.
Oh, well, he got about 80 points, didn't he, this week?
Yeah, he's Southampton fans, so that's probably why.
literally all his players were just getting double-digit returns left, right and centre. But it was one of them weeks where it's like 20% of players are going to have more than 50 points this week.
Definitely. And I think it brings me back to looking at maybe players that are more consistent and explosive, like Danny Ings returns every week. Raul Jimenez returns every week. I think I need to get a few more of these boys in. Maybe not take me so far up the league, but if we get weeks like this where we're getting 2 returns in a team, they would help you out a lot. Like Danny Ings this week, 2 assists. Jimenez got a goal this week and last week. Both of them are very good options, and I think 8.5 million or however much they are. I think that's a very good price.
Yeah, I think you're right in that. You got to look at the consistent scorers, especially for game weeks like this. It was really tough out there for all FPL managers. So if you're out there like us, stay strong, man. So that is everything game week 6. A little roundup, little review of the absolute stinker of a week we've had. Like I said, stay strong, don't knee jerk. This is a bad week for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Make sure, if you like the video, give it a big old thumbs up, comment, subscribe, share it about, all of that good stuff. I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you
later.